Starshine friends, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about the breast cancer bear that I make. And I want to give you a little bit of background because it's so interesting. Many years ago, I was in need of just a little something to give people who were hurting, who were sick, and I wanted to do more than just flowers or candy. So I went online and I Googled free bear patterns. And this is what I came up with, this bear pattern. And I'm going to make a separate video about this. So I just wanted to show you the history of where this bear came from. So I'm just going to put these back. And as you may recall from previous videos, my husband is a Lutheran pastor, and I go on shut-in calls with him. I go on hospital calls with him, nursing home calls, and it's very evident that there's a lot of people out there that are hurting, not feeling well, and especially people that have or had breast cancer and living with the side effects of it. We all know people who have had breast cancer. We may be survivors ourselves. I am a 30-year survivor, and I live with the side effects of that treatment every single day. So when I visit people with my husband who has this illness, this condition, I always try to give them this bear. And it just makes them, it's whimsical. It's really nothing to make. It just flies by. You do it while you're watching TV or at a sporting event with your kids or whatever. It just doesn't take very long. But yet the appreciation that you made them feel special is well worth the effort. So to get started as to how we do this is Joann Fabrics has this fabric, and I looked online last night and they still have it. So this is years and years old, but this winter I am planning on getting back really into this and making a lot of them because I do have the fabric, and right before Christmas I bought 8 yards more of it. So I'll be doing this for a while. These long, cold Minnesota winters are going to be productive. So what happens is, you can do this in several ways. I make a template of the bear, and you can do that. I have found that vellum is very easy to get the exact placement of the nose. So you go the nose right here, and then you would just pin it on. Now you could also, it's hard to cut around vellum because it doesn't have that much stiffness for a foundation. But you could also use cardstock and cut out the nose from the vellum and put it there and pin it on, and then it's much easier to go ahead and cut around this. If you want to cut around the vellum, you could always put that there and put the cardstock behind it, or even just a sheet of cardstock, just so that you have an accurate way of cutting, because sometimes these cuts, especially underneath the arms and the neck and the ears, can get a little choppy. So you have to have good scissors, and let me get my supplies out here. Good scissors and some smaller scissors, embroidery scissors, because you need to get that precise cut into the corners and the angles. So then, this is what you come up with. You need 2 of these, one for the front and one for the back. The next thing I do are the eyes. Now on the other bears that we use our embroidery sewing machine to put words on, I put a face on it. And I have to admit that you have to do a number of these, or at least I do, to get a rhythm going on the face. It's trying to get it somewhat centered, in the mouth somewhat whimsical. What my suggestion is, let it make itself, because it has its own idea how it wants to turn out, which may sound a little weird, but that's how it works out. If you are precisionist, this is not your project, because you may have it down to the nth degree on your ruler, but yet when you put the stuffing in, it goes all wonky. So your face can kind of be a little wonky, but that's what makes it fun, and that's what people love. So I did the eyes with embroidery thread. Now let me show you what I do for embroidery thread, because this I like to take with me. We have 3 levels in this house, and I can't always get down here, so I have this box. Now, larger grocery stores will sometimes have these boxes for sale as totes. We've got this one in Iowa or Nebraska, somewhere. Always buy a couple because they are so darn handy. So I fill it up with embroidery thread and pieces of embroidery thread and all of my pieces to cut around, because I want everything. I don't want to have to come back downstairs or not be able to do something when I'm out because I don't have it. So this is what I do, and it really, really works well. So I use black DMC floss. Now, I can't say DMC floss. Let me take that back. I love DMC floss. You can't always get it in rural Minnesota. So I will buy other brands. And it works just as well, because what you need to do is take the strand and then you break it. You pull it 3 strands because it's 6-stranded. Just use 3 strands and you make the eyes. Now, I really tried for this video to work it out to make it look good. I have, and what you do will be your own measurements also. It doesn't have to be mine. You just want to kind of make it look like a face, and it will work out. And sometimes one eye is a little smaller than the other. You could kind of pull it. If you pull it out too much and start over, you're going to cause some problems in that spot. So I wouldn't do it more than 5 or 6 times. So you put on the back, and then what you're going to do is, after your eyes are done, you're going to pull out a pink that you have picked. There are so many shades of pink embroidery floss. You pick out what you would like to work with. And I cannot see what brand this is, but it's number 602. But it never says what brand it is. And oh, yes it does. DMC 602, there you go. And then you pull out, and what you do is you start working it around. What I just did was I took the DMC floss and I separated it into 3 strands. This is the one, and I use about that long, because you don't want to keep stopping and starting it during the process. It just gives you more bulk that way. So I threaded my needle, and what I do is start right about, here, let me get rid of this so you can see what's going on. I start about here, and then I go inside the first layer just to get started and run it through. And then I catch it for the next stitch. Always keep them together as much as you possibly can. Then you won't have to cut so much at the end trying to keep them together and looking good. Then I go to the next section and looking at both sides, coming through about like this. And what you do is you go all the way around to about here, because this is where you're going to have to put the stuffing in. And what I use is USA made stuffing. And just start putting in here, get up to the ears first, through the head, the arms, the body, the legs, and then just go ahead and finish it off and put a knot in the back between the two layers. Make sure that it's all nicely together with both sides and there's not like the back hanging out because it's longer than the other side. And that is ready for a pink ribbon, which matches nice. I don't know. I also found this. I'm not sure. Let me ask you this. What do you think? With this, I'll take the pink ribbon off. What do you think about this? I don't know. I think it takes it away. But you can do lots of different things. It's totally up to you. It just kind of dresses it up a little bit, but then it kind of gets in the way of the design. So that is how I make a breast cancer bear. I give away a lot of these during the year. If you should find that you would have need of any, put it in the comments. We can chat on my private email, and let's see what we can do, because I do have enough to make this winter several hundred of them. So thank you for watching, but thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that maybe you will explore making your own bears. And we are very grateful that you were here and watched through the whole video. Thank you.